All right, so there's a lot of Tesla China news this week. First up is an incident that happened last Monday at the Shanghai Auto Show. An angry woman, presumably a Tesla owner, jumped up on a Tesla at the Tesla booth with a shirt reading, "Tesla's brakes failed," and screamed, "The brakes don't work!"
She was eventually forcibly removed from the car's roof and was placed in police detention for 5 days.
Now, to understand this incident, we have to first understand what happened leading up to this.
So according to the Global Times, this Tesla owner had been involved in an accident where she claimed that the Tesla brakes did not work properly.
Tesla had issued some social media statements on its Weibo account saying it acknowledges sensible criticism, but at the same time that it will not compromise to meet unreasonable claims.
This garnered tens of thousands of comments, many angry over what some perceived as a cocky response from Tesla.
So it seems that Tesla's social media response made the situation worse. On Tuesday, Tesla issued a statement apologizing that it didn't respond to the owner's complaint quickly, and Tesla said that they will review their Chinese service and operations.
On Tuesday, a black fence was put around the Tesla booth at the auto show. Now Tesla claims that it reached out to the customer, and they've also shared data logs from the car just prior to the accident. This is translated from Chinese.
When the driver stepped on the brake pedal for the last time, the data showed that the speed of the vehicle was 118.5 kilometers per hour. Within 2.7 seconds after the driver stepped on the brake pedal, the maximum brake master cylinder pressure was only 45.9 bar. After that, the driver increased the stepping on the brake pedal, and the brake master cylinder pressure reached 92.7 bar. The front collision warning and automatic emergency braking function were activated. The maximum brake master cylinder pressure reached 140.7 bar and played a role, reducing the amplitude of the collision. 1.8 seconds after the ABS was applied, the system recorded the occurrence of the collision. After the driver stepped on the brake pedal, the vehicle's speed continued to decrease, and before the collision, the vehicle's speed was reduced to 48.5 kilometers per hour.
And just to point out that the speed limit on that road was far, far less than the speed that she was traveling in her Tesla.
Yeah, less than half.
Yeah.
So were the Tesla brakes at fault? Was the driver at fault? This data would suggest that the brakes and the automatic emergency systems responded the way they should have.
But let's take a step back.
Yeah, what's the bigger picture? What's going on here?
As we're about to see from the next story, this is a piece in a bigger puzzle.
I mean, because what's going on in China is similar to what's been going on wherever Tesla sells its cars. Tesla is disrupting the automotive industry.
In China especially, Tesla is the new kid on the block, and there are many powerful auto companies that are threatened.
Now, what would you do if you were one of those Chinese auto companies that sees Tesla as a competitor and a threat?
Might you perhaps play some dirty tricks?
Might you put pressure on the media to run stories about quality issues with Teslas? And might you pay people to do certain things with their Teslas, like get into car crashes and blame the car?
And maybe even make a scene at the auto show?
So if you think we're crazy, this next story shows you what can happen when you create FUD.
Several Tesla owners in Guangzhou, China, reported last week that they were not allowed to drive on the highway.
Yeah, they were pulled over by police over safety concerns.
Now, what caused these safety concerns?
Well, there are reports in the Chinese media of a fatal accident involving a Tesla, which supposedly occurred in the Zhengcheng district of Guangzhou earlier this month.
And details are very sketchy.
And here's the thing, Fudsters. Do you really think that pulling over some Teslas and making a scene at an auto show is going to stop the real message from getting out? Teslas are the safest cars in the world. They are the most efficient and the most amazing. Now, do you think your tactics will really win? Did they work here in the US?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's so weird because China is a little bit different than the United States. If something is going to get picked up by the Chinese media, the Chinese government kind of has to
okay it,
which is a little different than in the United States, although you could make arguments that's... You could get into that. But anyway, the Chinese government went from really liking Tesla to maybe now are getting some pressure from some of their buddies. And they might be going, hey, do you want to squash Tesla real quick? Like, it was great that you got them over here and we're trying to steal all their technology. It's really going to help NIO and XPeng. And, we can hopefully extract all of their useful trade secrets. But yeah, we don't want them to actually succeed in our country.
Right. I think it's really funny that you're picking on Tesla for quality issues when, I mean, come on. Teslas are not only the safest cars, but they're the best built cars, and especially compared with a lot of their Chinese competitors. I can't believe if you're focusing on quality of their brakes, for instance, that why aren't you focusing on the quality of other car brakes in China?
Well, and I mean, this can lead to like a more nuanced discussion. Obviously, we're not Chinese. I've never even been to China. So like, what would I know? From what I can gather, some companies like VW have done things where like they'll have the same car, like they had the Passat, or however you say it, and the Chinese version inexplicably did so much worse in crash tests because they just made it way worse because they could, because it was in China. So I could see that some people in China would be upset if Tesla was going to do the same thing, because they don't.
Not.
But they, as far as we can tell, there's no difference in the lines or the build design or anything.
Right.
So yeah, it's a tricky situation. I think that Tesla's going to pull out of it though.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.